Good morning. Welcome back, everybody. We are here for episode number 65 of Friday Coffee Talks. Got a delicious cup today. Using some brand new beans that I got. These were from my trip to Raleigh a few weeks ago. Finally got them in the machine. Sprinkle of cinnamon. Just a little bit of cinnamon today. Ooh, it's good. It's really good. It has been a wonderful week. If you saw last week's episode, we were at the Grove Park Inn in Asheville, North Carolina for my sister's wedding last weekend. It was lovely. The weekend was great. The wedding was beautiful. The weather stayed great. Everybody had a blast. It just couldn't have been better. It was awesome. Can't think of anything better. I will say that being at nice hotels makes me wish that I was like Elon Musk or Bill Gates or something, because I could live at nice hotels like that all the time, and it makes me feel inadequate when I stay at nice places like that, because you get the breakfast buffet and you get the level of service from those great hotels, and the staff at the Omni Grove Park Inn were just amazing. They were great. Everybody was there to help. The rooms are great. The kids act better because they get access to things, and it's just a great lifestyle. Oh, the pool, being able to walk out and do the spa. We didn't get spa stuff this time, but having it out there. The golf course was great when we played. Just everything was so nice. I would very much enjoy being a billionaire so that I could live that life every single day, as we all would probably. During the wedding, we did the Thursday night when everybody was kind of getting in. We got together at the Wicked Weed Funkatorium in downtown Asheville. Had a couple beers, got the whole family together, and just hung out outside, and it was so fun. Just getting everybody together. As after a long day of travel, everybody's getting in, getting settled, and to go get some French fries and some good beer and drinks. And for everybody just to be able to kind of hang out and relax, it was super good. So whoever planned that in my family, shout out to you. It was awesome. But at that event, we were outside on this patio, and there's this big tree off to the right of where we were set. And my kids, Parker and Fallon, ended up going and hiding behind the tree, like right after we got there. And so I went to check on them, and Parker was like, "Hey, Dad, we're being spies. We have a secret mission we have to get to." And I was like, "Okay, all right, let's do it. We're spies." And so that was it. The rest of the night, everything was about spies. And everybody in the family got into it. And I appreciate that too, of indulging my kids for being kind of silly while everybody else was hanging out. But they were running around the brewery, and they were doing missions. They were looking at things, and, "Oh, hey, Gigi, come here and look at this." And they'd pull her away from everything, and she would very intently run over and go, "What is it? What is it? What is it?" But my cousin's boyfriend, I've talked about this on here. What is your cousin's significant other to you? I'm just going to say my cousin. My cousin, John, he took it one step further. So Parker decided that everybody needed spy names. You can't be a good spy unless you have a name. And so he was intent on making sure that everybody had a spy name. And Parker couldn't give the names. John was the spy name master. So Parker would send everybody over to John, and John was a great sport. He went with it. He was like, yeah, I'll be the spy master. So all night, everybody's coming over to him going, "Well, what can my spy name be?" And so they're making up names. And he ended up giving Parker his phone to carry around and write down all the names in a note in the phone. And it was awesome. Parker loved it. It was just indulged every fantasy that he had about all this spy stuff. And so in a general sense, in a normal setting, that would be the end of it. You leave the brewery. The spy thing's over. There's a cute thing that a kid did, and that was that. That wasn't the case with John, though, and he took it one step further. And so the last day after the wedding, the morning after the wedding, we were down at breakfast, and I got a text from John that said, "Hey, can I drop off something in your room?" And we said, "Yeah, sure, that's totally fine." And when we came back, there was a spread in the floor, including this, and a note that said "Top Secret." And what John had done is he took the note of everybody's spy names, and he not only wrote them down in a notebook, in a spy notebook that says "For Spy Masters Only," but he took the letters up here and he turned them into a code. I don't know if you can see the red letters underneath. He created a code and then scrambled up everybody's names and put it next to their spy name. And he has pages of these for everybody that was there. Pages of them. He made a word scramble for everybody's spy names for my son. How cool is that? It's the coolest thing. So the whole way home and since, Parker has been unscrambling names. We stopped for lunch on the way home from Asheville, and I forget what name it was, but he read off somebody's name, and I was like, oh yeah, whose nickname is that? And he said, I don't know, I haven't cracked their code yet. And he just got so into it. It was such a good activity for him, and I'm so appreciative to John for doing that. And not to sound negative, there's nothing negative about it at all, but that had nothing to do with John's skill or his training or anything like that. It was just him being nice. It was him doing a little bit of extra effort to do something for a kid that he's never going to forget. I mean, his little 6-year-old brain, that's probably in the top 5 moments of his life, is this spy notebook that he's got now with everybody's scrambled up code names. So, and all it took was maybe 30 minutes of effort of sitting down and writing down everything. But it went such a long way. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today is that rings true not only in little kids at weddings and at breweries, but it rings true for your work. It rings true in your lives. And I hope that's something that people don't forget. I think, that's the thing we see at Chick-fil-A. I think that's why people love the service at Chick-fil-A so much, because they're out there and they're doing just a little bit more. They're saying my pleasure, and they're making sure your order's right every single time, and they're chasing after your car down the drive-through lane. Things like that. It's not about having the best, for me, it's not about having the best sales technique or the best pitch or the best sales training or the like medic qualification bant, whatever. It's not knowing the things. It's doing the things well and giving people things that are going to make you memorable. It's going and doing effort outside of what's required that people are going to remember. And I think it's so valuable, and I think it's lost a lot of times. Maybe not in enterprise IT like me, but I feel like the world has gotten very transactional, very commodity driven, to where people are just out, I got to go buy a thing, I'm going to go buy the thing. And that's why when you have good experiences with a real estate agent or a car salesman when you're out buying things or anything like that, it could be anything in the world. You have these experiences with people who do that. They go the extra mile. They go the extra inch, and it sets them apart because they treated you like a person. They gave you an experience that was memorable, and they were kind. They did something they didn't have to do that made you feel good. It made you have a good experience, and you're going to remember that person. So those are the things. I'm ashamed to say I've never made a spy notebook for a kid, but those are the things that I want to do. Those are the things, that's the person I want to be. Shoot, if I even just a couple times in my life made an impact on a kid or on a person, on anybody, like John did for my son Parker, that's a pretty dang good life. So I would love to do that. So that would be my feedback on this. I guess the moral of the story is go that extra mile. Do something a little bit extra. Do something special for people that's out of the norm, because they're going to remember you. It's going to make an impact, and it's going to make their day just a little bit better. So cheers to you all. I have a very special guest next week that I cannot wait to put together and post. We filmed it yesterday, and I've got a lot of editing to do, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So please join us back for next week. Episode 66 will be next week with a very special guest. Until then, cheers, and we'll catch you next week.